Hi, and welcome to another video of the Target Individual Experience, the Target Individual Program. So I went to pick up the kids from school. Well, my daughter, because he didn't have after school on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And so I went to pick up my daughter, and I had to speak to one of the counselors there, and ended up putting her in another after school program from Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Okay, from 3 to 5. And so, you know, I'm going to show the video of me going to get her and stuff like that and what happened along the way. But I want to talk about silent sound spectrum. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this many times. This was used on me early on in my targeting through the implants for remote neuromonitoring. And also, this is a technology that broadcasts subliminal programming, okay, and subliminal message using microwave or radio frequencies, okay. So on the website Longitude 361 gives you an explanation or an idea of what silent sound spectrum is. Okay, and the article is called "Silent Sound Spectrum: The Relentless Invasion of Our Mind." Now, you used to be able to find a lot more information about this, particularly on what they call these. When the military have these conferences on directed energy weapon, right? You could find this information online. You no longer can find it, at least not in the manner which we were able to find these things in the past, because they've basically went dark with these things. Okay, they scrubbed the internet from a lot of information about these technologies, and so the relentless invasion of our mind by Zen Garden. Okay, I can't pound away enough about this subject, and I hope you are sound enough too. People would find it hard to believe how many types of technology are being used on human minds today. We all know we're steered and walled off to some degree of influence around us, not the least of which is the media and the onslaught of its corporate rule, fascist disinformation, and advertising firm. Deeper influences include so-called modern education and the socially engineered dumbing down of society for decades. Just look around you for how well repeated everything we're told has become, with the predominance of shadow Hollywood types and the gutless sing-song intonations and political correctness in society today. But there are a lot more people need to know about electronic mind control and what it's doing to us and our world. The sound of silence. Here's one subliminal programming carried by UHF and ultra high frequency signals. Some say this is the reason the government so enthusiastically pushed everyone to digital broadcasting to implement this and free up the analog bandwidth for even more insidious purpose. The coming universally implanted chip, which is already here and it's been here. I was implanted in 2001 or 2002, if my memory serves me correctly. The Department of Defense called it Silent Sound Spectrum, or SSSS, and it also goes by the name of S Squad or Squad. In the private sector, the technology goes by the name of Silent Subliminal Presentation System, and the technology has also been released to certain corporate vendors who have attracted catchy brand names like BrainSpeak Subliminal, BrainSpeak silent subliminal to their own SSSS based products. Whether you call it SSSS is a technology that uses subliminal programming that is carried over ultra high frequency UHF broadcast waves, planting inaudible messages directly into the subconscious human mind. Perfected more than 20 years ago by the Department of Defense and battle tested upon unwitting Iraqi soldiers serving in the army of Saddam Hussein in the Gulf War during 1991. SSSS is a sinister weapon that may have been involved for a specific mission, the total subjugation of the American people. We're talking nasty here. Would these controllers do such a thing? Are you kidding? Any tool that works is a good tool for these tools. Nature will find a way around it, but it's something to behold how desperate these control freaks are. Okay? And then it goes on, but I'm not going to read the entire thing because I want you guys to read it yourself. And this was posted September 13, 2016. But this technology has been around for many decades. Okay? And the U.S. government have been working on this for a long time. And so, like I said, a lot of the information you could have found about this on military briefing when they hold conferences that used to be on the internet. You can no longer find. But the reason why I'm bringing up this today in this particular manner is because I'm going to show you through the video how SSS silent spectrum work. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys how they use it with the psychological programming or the PSYOPs or the Coercive Persuasion Program against me and other TIs. Okay. Okay, let's go back here. All right, so let's go to the video, and there's going to be a point in one of the videos where I'll let you know that this is silent spread spectrum at work, and possibly maybe throughout the entire videos. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so as you see, I'm walking out the apartment building. I already got the camera on deck, the phone camera recording. Okay. So again, see across the street, guy with the red jacket. Because they've been using red a lot lately. Okay, and I said, and no police activities so far. Okay, so as soon as I cross the street, there's a lady that's standing here. Now they're waiting, and this is what they do, okay, because they know what time I leave to go pick up the kids from school. So she's standing there in the stroller with her children, and that's to show you the dedication these people have in this cult, right? That they would bring their young children out, very young children out, to participate in the psychological harassment and psychological torture of target individuals. Now, if I was a different person, okay, this probably wouldn't have happened, because if my attitude was to more of aggressive, physical aggressive nature, they wouldn't bring these people out. Okay, but because I'm not, they can do this. But that's okay, because when they do it, that's when I'm going to record it and expose exactly what it is that they're doing. So it's fine. Okay, so again, as soon as I turn to walk across the street, she starts sticking her finger in her ears, and then you're gonna see the guy approaching, doing the same thing. Okay, all right. Okay, so now he's engaged in a staring campaign at me. Okay, I talked about this yesterday. Okay, so let's see if we can brighten this up to get a good image of his face. All right, let's go here. Okay, so you see him, right? They'll do this. They'll stare at me as they walk past, their fingers in their ears. So now she starts moving. Okay, and I'm going to turn the uh, phone around. So as I got close to her, she did this, and I want to do the action. I'm not trying to trigger anyone. I'm just showing you what she did. So she starts doing this, playing with her hair. What she did not expect is for me to turn the phone around to catch her doing it. Okay? So she puts her hands down with the quickness when she sees the phone turned towards her, and now she goes to a staring campaign. Okay? But like I said, I'm gonna, put these perps on blast. Okay? All right, let's get past this a little. So coming across the street, you see this kid walking here. This is phase 2. Okay, this is phase 2. So he got his buddy over there waiting for him. Okay, and again, you're gonna do the little hand signal. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna show you guys that this is all pre-planned. This is all the setup. This is street theater. Okay. So he looks back at me. Again, you see the hand signal, hand going above the head. I see a lot of people wearing red. You see the lady at the bus stop. Okay, wearing the red. Let's go back slightly. There she is. He's wearing the red sneakers. Okay. 3 guys approaching. 1 with the red jacket. Again, sticks his thumb out. Just like the guy walking, the teenager walking across the street, sticking his thumb out. As I get close to him, that's what he does. Like I said, they're starting to use a lot of teenagers and little children, as opposed to the majority of them being grown adults. Okay, so you'll see again 3 teenagers here. The one in the pink jacket, she looked back, she saw me, and she's going to stand right in my path. Okay, let's go back again. Okay, I want to get to the part where she actually looks back at me. So let's go. So at this point, she looks back and she turns and she goes over here in my path. Okay? Again, you'll see it's all pre-planned. Now watch. The teenager in front of me in the red shoes, he's gonna stand right beside her. Okay? So she went from here, standing where this girl in the black jacket, to going over here, trying to block my path. Right? Now, he goes and he stands right here. Now, this car isn't going anywhere, right? So it's not like if they're waiting for this car to pass by. This car is just there, right? Now, as I got closer, they act as if they're trying to talk to each other. Then she turns, look, at the same time, she's looking behind me. She's looking behind at me, okay? He's trying to play it off, but trust me, when he turned around, it's me they're looking at. As she turns, she sticks her feet out, okay? And you can see it almost tripped. And then she goes, "Excuse me." Okay. So she turns, and as she turns, she stuck her foot. At that exact moment when they both turn, she turns and she stuck her foot forward, and I tripped over her foot. Then she's like, sorry. So I turned around, like, well, you stuck your feet out. That's what you did. You know what you was doing. You can see the video, right? She moved from where she was to go to block my path, and then the other teenager, the one that's walking in front of me in the red sneakers, goes and stand right beside her as I approach. They both turn around at the exact same moment. Okay? And she stuck her foot out, right? And I almost tripped. Okay? Right? And when I turned back to look at her, she had this big smile on her face. You see, again, this is what they do to try to get you mad and try to get you angry. And like I said, if I'm a different type of person, I probably would have, you know, smacked the crap out of her. But I'm not that type of person. But that's the person that they want you to become, because whatever narrative that they are telling people, remember, they have to condition you and program you to be that way. And you have to understand that. It's about creating a negative image or creating negative imagery and associating that with negative things when it comes to you. Your your face, your likeness, because they are manipulating your mind, your emotions. This is what they are doing. And they do things like this, okay, after a heavy dose of targeting, because they figure that they've psychologically manipulate you and emotionally manipulate you, that you will lash out in anger, right? And so you will get mad, physically assault someone for psychologically attacking you, and you'll be arrested. This is what they do. Okay? Sometimes when I hear stories about some of these rappers and how people would just try to antagonize them and instigate, a physical altercation so they can have them arrested so they can sue them. This is the type of things I'm talking about. This is what these people do. Right? Okay. So again, I left early because I need to go speak to one of the counselors about my daughter, and so that's why I was at the school early. Because as you can see, there was not a lot of teenagers outside the school. Okay, and so I had to go into the school to again speak to the counselor, and of course, they're gonna have a perpetrator. Okay, so now as he has I approach the perp that's standing in front of the school main entrance, now she goes into action. She was just standing there doing nothing. As soon as I come, she turns around, she's looking at her bag. Okay, so she looks up briefly, and of course, looking at her bag, takes out her phone, and again, sticking the thumb out. I'm not trying to target anybody, but I'm just showing, illustrating what she's doing. Okay, standing there, right? The minute she sees me, turns around, started looking in her bag, right, and then take her phone out. So when I hear a lot of TIs saying that they're being shot with directed energy through people's phone, that's not what they're doing. Okay, what they're doing is to let you know that your phone has been bugged. Okay, that's what it is, right? So anybody who you contact to get any type of help, they will get to that person first. They need to stay 10 steps ahead of you, okay, in order for them to destroy your life. This is what they're doing. They're not shooting you with directed energy weapons. They're letting you know that your phone has been bugged. That's what it is. Okay, so here, okay, so let's move on to the next video. So I went into the school and I had to wait for the counselor. I couldn't see her, so I said, okay, I'm gonna go pick up my daughter and then we'll come back and I'll speak to her afterwards. So this is me leaving, and you see before I exit out the building, I already had the phone out to record, right? Now check this out. And this is going to be brief. Okay, as soon as I exit out, it starts with the noise campaign, right? I'm going to do this slowly. Now as I exit out, this teenager, again, he bows his head, okay? And again, they're going to try to mask it in a kind of way in which it's like, okay, he's looking down at something. No, this is all masking, all right? Now look at this teenager here. Gets in front of me, all right? And then he covers his mouth. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, watch. See, he starts swinging his hands, and then he gives me the middle finger. See that? Okay. And meanwhile, of course, you see the police vehicle, facing this way now, right? All the videos that you see me walking to the kids' school, they're always over here going, direction of traffic on the other side of the street, or they'll turn to the opposite direction of traffic, but they're here. But they have to do this in front of me because the police is right there. And I talked about how the police use civilian perps when they're in my presence and the police are around. The police is not going to do this because again, I get them on video. They're giving me proof. So again, they'll use civilian perpetrators. And like I said, for the past couple of days, they've been using a lot of teenagers, as you can see in the videos. So you'll see he's, again, they'll give me the middle finger. Police are right there. Okay. 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 So I'm waiting for my daughter. Uh, waiting to pick up. And now phase 3. Check this out. Okay. So now it's bringing the religious fanatics. So she comes on her phone and she's saying hello, and then she asks the person, "Are you born again?" Okay. Again, I talk about religious cults participating in these type of psyops program or coercive persuasion program. I'm 100% correct. Okay. Okay. So now see how she hesitate. She's looking over at me, and she's hesitant because now she's out. The other girl is out the way. The one who said, "Are you born again?" And so now, as she goes out the way, now she's going to come into view. Okay, see how she looks at her, and now they both walked across. She stays there. Okay, and again, the girl shows up with the red jacket, and you're gonna see her touch her nose right there. Okay, see that? And of course, she has a red bag on. Okay, so this right there is the result of the silent sound spectrum. The way how they move with precision in front of me, the things that they say. Again, this is the technology, and we're not done. Okay, so watch what happened when this lady here shows up with her cart. She's selling icy. Okay, let's go back a little bit more right here. So you see this woman coming into view. She's gonna stick her finger in the ear, in her ear, and you'll see her hand action. Let's go. I'm gonna be very quick before she gets into the camera view. All right, see, her hands is in her ear, and she's gonna drop it back there. Okay. All right. So now these two teenagers are gonna come, and they're gonna go there to get icy. All right. Okay. That same police vehicle that you saw facing the opposite direction of traffic now going to come out of their parking space, and they're going to drive down the block. Again, this is phase three. So the everybody, well, not everybody, but most people I describe, they're in on it. Okay, including these two teenagers. Okay, police car drive by, lights flashing. This little kid, he has $1 in his hand. Okay, and what he does is goes in his book bag, I guess, for more money. You know, as a teenager, you don't put money in your book bag. You put it in your pocket or a wallet if you have one. But again, this is all the played out scenario. What it is, and I'm gonna tell you a story. All right. So at my last job that I was working at, after being targeted for so many years, um, I started to look for employment elsewhere. And every job interview that I went to, there would be a gentleman, a white gentleman, in front of the business establishment. And he would have $1 in his hand. Okay? Let me see if I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So again, I'm not trying to target anybody. I'm just trying to explain what's going on here. So literally, there would be a person standing in front of the business establishment. The person already came before I got there, and they would hold $1 up in their hand like this in front of the business establishment that I went to go for the job interview. Every single time. Okay? So when this teenager here, when he turns to go in his book bag, he had $1 in his hand. Okay, that's why you see the police vehicle drive by, because the police are the ones that are blacklisting me. Okay, they have been going to business organizations that I have interviews, job interviews with, and they would send these people there to stand in front of the establishment to holding $1 in their hand. Okay, so uh, so this teenager again, the way he was holding the $1 with his thumb on the $1. That's why you see while I was walking to the school, these teenagers they're sticking their thumb out, right? So again, that is to that is neuro linguistic programming, dark NLP. Okay, that is the trigger. Okay, and so when he does that, I want you to look at the woman that's selling the IC. Okay, so now he has $1, he shows me the $1, and now she pulls her hair back behind her ears. Okay, that's the silent sound spectrum at work. because how did she just know that he faced the dollar bill towards me? Okay. Okay. But let, let me just fast forward this because I think I need to explain what I explained. All right. And so let's go to the next video. So I am walking back to the main entrance of the school at this point, and they start with a noise campaign using, again, uh, car alarm, right? And the minute that I exit out the schoolyard, car alarm goes off. There were 3 school safety officers here. The minute I turned to walk towards the intersection, they all 3 of them walked off together. Okay, now mind you, school is just letting out. Okay, and they always do this, particularly at this time of year where the weather is warm, or it's not too cold, so they're not standing outside. But the minute the weather gets warm, they do stuff like this. And I'm sure I'm going to show you more videos where, as soon as I exit out that schoolyard, you'll see these school safety officers all of a sudden just start walking off, right? Okay, all right, all right, there they go. Okay, all right. So now I had signed my daughter up for uh, the after school, and so now I'm heading back to the house. And you see these 2 perps across there, one in the black jacket walking away, and the one in the blue. Okay, and he started doing these hand signals, so I turned the phone towards him, and of course he's staring at me. Look at him. Okay, so let's get past this. Okay, so that was it. Okay, but again, the use of the silent sound spectrum to control people, send them subliminal messages, all coincide with the coercive persuasion programming. Okay, that's how they move in such precision. That's how they react to you the moment you exit out of a building without them even seeing you. Okay, it's like they already know you're coming out of there at that split second, and they start to target you before they even see you. Okay, that's the silent sound spectrum. That's the remote neural monitoring at work. So I kind of wanted to explain that part, and I thought this was a good video. Excuse me. So I thought this was a good video to show you an example of that. Okay, so that's it for the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.